Welcome back to the Westmoreland Sports Network for Recruiting Thursday, presented to you by Sendell Volkswagen in Greensburg. We would love to meet you. Jack Ridenour here with you, and I'm now joined by Hempfield Area baseball player and recent Seton Hill baseball commit, Carson Shuglie. Carson, first off, thanks for joining us today, and a huge congrats to you on the commitment. How excited are you to have this decision made and get this, kind of lifted off your shoulder a little bit and know, especially before the season, where you'll be continuing your athletic career?
Yeah, I'm super excited to, have it off my shoulders, and it was a long process. I'm just kind of glad that I found somewhere where I'm going to be ending up. So,
well, I want to get into that recruiting process, obviously, and first and foremost, I know that obviously there's probably a lot of things that drew you to Seton Hill, but what was kind of that deciding factor for you that led you to committing to become a Griffin?
I went on my visit last Monday there, and I got to meet all the coaches and take a look around campus. And I just really liked everything, loved the coaches, loved the campus. And, I've played with a bunch of guys that are there now. So it just felt like the right place for me.
What were some other schools that were on your radar, you were on their radar, that you kind of were in the mix with Seton Hill during this process for you?
Gannon and Marietta were two of the other ones that I was pretty interested in. But, yeah, those were probably the only other two.
Well, in terms of just the whole recruiting process, and I think it's something that, all student athletes that want to play in college obviously have to go through. What were some maybe unique aspects about it for you that you went through, and what were some things that you maybe wish you had known about it before you got into it?
I wish that I knew that it's a lot harder than what it's made out to be. You actually have to, earn it and get there and do all these little things to, make you earn a spot at a school. So, I think that would be a big thing that I would have liked to know, but it was a fun process.
Yeah, no question. That is definitely, as a former college athlete myself, I can definitely speak to it. It's fun when you have coaches in your email box calling you, texting you. It's a very, very exciting moment, and definitely an exciting feeling once you make that decision. At what point were you kind of making that decision and you finally said, you know what, I want to play baseball in college? When did that kind of click for you and you were like, let's see how far this goes?
That's honestly been a thing since I was 5, ever since T-ball, and when I was young, just getting as far as I can in baseball has just always been something that I want to do.
Well, definitely putting your mind to that and obviously putting that into fruition as well. But I want to get into last year, and there was one week in particular where you had an absolute eye-popping week. And I'm going to read this out for everyone at home because I don't want people to think I'm making this up. You were 5 of 11 from the plate. You had 4 home runs, 2 grand slams, and 13 RBIs. First off, what were you having for breakfast that week? And second off, what was clicking for you? What were you seeing at the plate that just did not seem to have any sort of problem for you?
Honestly, what was I eating? Probably just eggs and toast. That was probably it. But just when I was up there, I just felt super comfortable, and I was just sticking to my approach, just trying to stay on every pitch and hit it to where it's thrown, and just feeling good and got good results.
Well, I know that there's been a lot of people that have noted your quick hands, very fluid swing. Where did you learn how to hit and kind of that art of hitting? And also, how do you work on hand speed? That's something I've always been fascinated with, is how guys work on that hand speed. So for you, how do you work on that?
Well, power's always been a thing that's came kind of just natural to me. Ever since I was young, it's just been thing that I've always kind of had. But to work on it, I do overloaded bats and underloaded, and I just try to swing them as hard as I can, as fast as I can, and that just makes my bat speed get a little bit higher, and it's just how I do it.
How do you approach hitting as a whole? Again, I'm sure somebody that, like you said, you're kind of maybe looking at it a very technical standpoint. How do you kind of look at it? And I actually remember you were interviewed by one of our own at WSN, Sean Myers, and you mentioned how you're just trying to hit the ball on a line. You're just trying to hit line drives. And I know that's kind of, I guess, maybe counter, to what everybody else is trying to do in baseball now, hit it high and get a lot of elevation. So what's your approach to hitting as a whole?
Honestly, I try to stay the middle of the field or the oppo gap. So, and I'm never trying to hit the ball in the air. I'm always trying to either hit a line drive or even on the ground.
I'm guessing that you're not a fan of how some of the MLB guys are hitting then these days.
Well, I mean, it works for them, but it's never worked for me. So I just stick to what works for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's definitely a good plan to have. But I want to also get into another aspect about what you'll be doing when you go to college and having to deal with in baseball, and that is a pitch clock. And I know that you have kind of not been necessarily the biggest fan of it, but I would love to know how you plan on getting adjusted to it, and what is kind of maybe your thoughts on having to deal with it and, not too far down the road.
I'd say just, like when I'm in the game, I just kind of feel the pace of it, and the pace will obviously be like a little bit quicker in some situations, but I don't think that's necessarily like a terrible thing. So, I mean, I think that I'll be able to adjust to it pretty good.
Do you think that pitch clock in a way can help college baseball?
I mean, I think I could definitely see how it could like help just baseball as a whole, because it kind of like speeds things up a little bit and like just, keeps the pace of the game moving, keeps the tempo high. So I think that's definitely like a benefit of it.
Well, I know that you have a little bit of time before you have to deal with that, and you obviously have another season ahead with you with the Spartans. Just right now, what's kind of going on for you and your team? I mean, in terms of fall ball and then winter workouts and kind of that ramp up process into the season.
Right now, we actually just got home from my last fall game. So we just finished up fall ball, and next month we'll be starting to get into the weight room a little bit, start, just getting back into the groove and stuff. So.
Well, Carson, we are definitely very excited to see you guys hit the field this year. Obviously, have a little time before baseball season, but as we all know, that's going to be here before we know it. Before we let you go, I want to hear from you in terms of what it's going to take for you guys to capture a WPIAL championship. I know you and the Spartans have been kind of knocking at the door. You guys have been in the neighborhood of capturing a title, but haven't been able to get to that point yet. What will it be, and what will it take for you guys to get that this year?
Well, I think we're gonna have to put in like really, really hard off season, put in a lot of hard work and stuff. We have a bunch of guys that a bunch of returning seniors, so I think we'll be good. And as long as we just all buy into it and do our parts, then I think we'll be good. We also got like some younger guys that, they're gonna, I think, surprise people a little bit. And as long as we just work hard, and I think that we have the guys to do it. So.
Well, we're definitely very excited to see you guys hit the diamond this spring on WSN. As always, thanks so much for joining us today. Again, congratulations on the commitment and good luck this season.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's Seton Hill baseball commit Carson Shuglie. As always, thanks for joining us for another Recruiting Thursday presented to you by Sendell Volkswagen in Greensburg. We would love to meet you. Make sure you check out our other Recruiting Thursday features that are available on our YouTube channel. And as always, this is Jack Ridenour. Never saying a goodbye, just to see you later, right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.